Hi, I'm Jonathan Politi, and this is a video about the making of the Legal Technology course. It all begins with a good idea is one of the themes that I had when I first began this project. I never dreamed that I would be given one of the University Teaching Council's Summer Teaching Development Awards, and I don't think I truly realized the scope of the project when I first began. This video is documenting much of what went into creating the class, the time, energy, and effort, and it's also a way of saying thank you to everybody who's been involved in the project in helping make this class a reality. With that, I would like to say sit back, relax, enjoy, and again, thank you to everyone who's been involved in the project.
The Legal Technology project began here, at the Kent Trumbull campus. It was here that I became involved with the Legal Assisting Technology program, or LEGT program as it's known, for the paralegals. Again, this is where it all began. But Kent State is more than just one campus. The LEGT program at Trumbull has sister programs. At the East Liverpool campus, with its own LEGT program, at the Tuscarawas campus with its Legal Administrative Professional Technology program, or LAPT program as it's known, and at the Ashtabula campus with its own LAPT program. That means there are 2 associate degree programs available for paralegals at 4 out of our 8 Kent State campuses, each providing 2-year degrees for our students to learn how to become paralegals. And it was here that one of the challenges that was recognized in this project would be to bring together the talents and resources of these 4 programs. It was the idea of bringing these 4 worlds together that was so appealing. It would mean making connections with the coordinators of the 4 programs as well as the continuing studies program to address the problem facing the legal community. You see, the impact of technology, computers, PDAs, projectors, teleconferencing equipment, scanners and document imaging, electronic filing, the internet, cellular phones, and the list goes on, leaves the legal community struggling to make sense of it. It's not just the flood of technology, but the flood of information that accompanies it. The problem is avoiding an overload of technology. The good news is that Kent already has many of the resources needed. It just needed someone to gather the technology and bring it to the students. With the UTC Summer Development Award, I was able to spend the time to do just that. The months prior to the summer, as well as the summer itself, were spent working with the faculty, staff, and administration of the many campuses, familiarizing myself with the technologies, exactly what was available, and determining how they could best be put to use. Equipment was tested, publishers were contacted, materials were researched and poured over, and as the summer quickly ended, the results of the project were prepared for presentation to the University Teaching Council. Legal Technology, From the Classroom to the Courtroom, was presented to the UTC at the beginning of the fall semester. And although it was one of the milestones for the project, it was neither the project's start nor conclusion. From the beginning, how to proceed was key to the project. It's people that make the university work, and it was bringing people together from our faculty, our staff, and our students, as well as from our legal community, that made the project work. Isaac Newton once remarked, "If I have seen a little further, it is by standing on the shoulders of others." The vision for the Legal Technology project has come from working alongside others and from standing on their shoulders. For the project to succeed, it would depend on cooperation, assistance, input, and feedback. Networking is one of the strengths of Kent State University. And to answer the question, how I would proceed would be with the help of others. Adding to my own vision were the perspectives of those around me. Paralegals need to work in different environments: law offices, courthouses, corporate boardrooms, government offices, and they need to develop skills in order to handle the responsibilities of the job in the environments they work in. It would be the views of others, in addition to my own, that would make the project possible. Learning what Kent has to offer and what the needs of the legal community are. Those would be the starting points. And although I had some idea of these resources and needs, it would require researching, making connections, in order to refine that understanding. Professional paralegals perform many duties in the legal community, in the courts, and in the law offices. We are relying more and more on their services, the value that they bring, the tasks they perform. They are called upon to deal with important matters that are relevant in the everyday practice of law. The specific tasks they perform will vary depending upon the roles that they assume in that work environment. Case management, electronic filing, legal research, drafting, document management and scanning, trial preparation and trial presentation, timekeeping and billing, and even client communications. In addition to the traditional role of the paralegal, technology has added another aspect. As technology advances, the role of the legal assistant is expanding and adapting. Increasingly, they are expected to be technology experts. They need to be prepared, to be ready to meet the needs of the legal community when they leave the paralegal program and enter the workforce. Passing these specific skills to our students is of importance to their ability to perform, as well as to their marketability. And again, determining what was needed and assessing the needs of the legal community would be one of the starting points. Technology has brought changes to the practice of law. It's having a profound effect in the way the legal community practices, and it continues to change. The legal system is based on stability and on tradition. As innovation pushes forward, the courts have struggled with the increasing flood of technology. One of the courts on the forefront of that innovation is our own Trumbull County Probate Court. In many aspects, the practice of law requires the management of information. In the 70s and 80s, only the largest firms used computers, and they were used mainly in the back office. Today, they are held in the palm of your hand and exist on every desktop as indispensable tools used throughout the practice, both in and out of the office. The technology, the tools that provide access to information 24/7, are fast becoming an everyday reality. Keeping current on technology is essential. Judge Thomas Swift embraces technology in his court and keeps abreast of the technology landscape.
So it's changing that quickly. The same way with our programs, we're constantly updating our programs to incorporate the new technology.
In talking with Judge Swift and spending time with his staff, it's evident as to the extent to which technology is embedded into the functions of the court. Paralegals can connect directly to the court with online access to cases and dockets and the ability to file and track cases electronically. The system processes information directly, and law offices are better able to service and inform their clients with the 24/7 access. One can see how paper filings will be a thing of the past. The automated courtroom is becoming more commonplace. At the federal, state, and even the local level, courts are beginning to embrace and integrate technology into many of their functions. At the Newton Falls Municipal Court, Judge Thomas Old is ahead of many of the other area municipal courts when it comes to investing in technology, and both he and his staff are familiar with the benefits that technology brings to his court.
Digital recording, we have access to the internet so that we're able to access LexisNexis. If there are other questions that we have to answer through the internet, that can be done here as well. And hopefully someday in this court we'll actually have video arraignments from the county jail to...
Planning for the future means future investment in technology. At this point, however, there are no set standards, no one-size-fits-all. As more courts invest, Paralegals will need to be familiar with what the courts will require and adapt to the use. That's why it's imperative that our students learn legal technology and learn it well. As courts establish standards and as more and more courts adopt legal technology, the paralegals who are both knowledgeable and flexible will be the most effective. Judge Old demonstrates some of the features of technology in his courtroom.
I can start and then pick the person whose case I'm dealing with. For instance, if I'm dealing with this fellow, now it will be recording into this case, and I can annotate what's going on.
So many aspects, so much of the technology that is specialized, specific to the legal profession. Just in dealing with the courts. Specialized software for trial presentations, knowing how to properly work with presentation equipment, knowing how to prepare digital paperwork and then how to file it electronically, organizing and managing discovery, scheduling and docketing, and much more. Our students as paralegals will need to be exposed to the specific technology, to be exposed to it and educated on an ongoing basis.
That's why I was excited to hear that you're developing this course. Not only is it important to train paralegals and other staff members, it's important to have ongoing training. And you've accessed Supreme Court's Advisory Committee on Court Technology and some of the other courts as to what is going on. That's an ongoing process, and paralegals and staff members have to be constantly updated on what's going on. It's the same thing that businesses do.
It's a matter of investing in the future. The courts see value in learning technology and in staying current. Kent State has the opportunity to make connections to the legal community to offer such an education specifically in this area. Which comes to the second starting point in creating a legal technology class. Part of the beauty in creating the course was that many of the resources necessary were already in place at Kent State. It was a matter of speaking to and working with faculty and staff to get proper direction and feedback and to determine what was already in place.
All right, in our Intro to Computer classes, students will cover such topics as file management, where they learn how to navigate the operating system, move files, copy, paste. Also, they would learn how to use the Office suite. Included in the Office suite are such programs as Microsoft Word, which is the word processing program, Microsoft Excel, which is the spreadsheet program, and Microsoft PowerPoint, which is the multimedia presentation program. The students get a very good background of all three of these programs, also touching a little bit of database management.
Basically, it's an introduction to computers class. Teaches you basic things that involve a computer. Utilize some basic desktop software such as Office. Use like Microsoft Word, Excel. I believe they talk about PowerPoint in that class as well.
Okay.
I think they touch upon Access. I think basically it depends on how smoothly the class goes, how far everyone gets in the class. They cover more material. So.
Kent State provides a good basic education in technology, but it also has additional resources that could be tapped for the program.
This campus, the Kent State Trumbull campus, has invested $29 million in technology. We have a new technology building that is dedicated to providing technology for the credit student who is graduating with their associate degree. The workforce development building is $4.9 million in structure and equipment. The Board of Regents awarded us another $1 million to buy equipment and to provide the technology that this building is supposed to make available to our community in forms of non-credit job training. So I am especially excited about this special topics paralegal program that will be available for credit and non-credit students.
The paralegal program coordinators were also consulted.
And it basically is going to prepare the student to work in a law office and to even be an office manager. But I really do have a lot of students that are very excited about the prospects of this program.
Sure. Most of my students would need such a course. Probably all of them. I haven't seen anybody who knows how to use everything. There's always areas that they know about. Some even know some things, but they're not current with them. My students have the basic skills with the computer and the computer software. They need to increase their competence on the variety of things to go from everything from Excel, Adobe Acrobat to MS Word, and be able to use these.
Courses like this actually meet a variety of needs. We have individuals who started as secretaries, working at law offices, who have worked their way into what you would now call a paralegal. They didn't have any structured training. They have not attended courses, but they have accepted the responsibility, and they have many times learned as they've gone. They may not know the most efficient way to do something, and that's simply because they've never been taught. Those people will be very interested in this class. They may, in fact, decide they want to come to school and get admitted to the university and work towards a degree. But they may also say they don't want the degree, but they really need to know the knowledge. They need to have that knowledge under their belt.
Talking with the university and with the legal community, exploring what was needed, helped to further develop the vision for the program. It provided further focus for that vision and for what needed to be done. Understanding the changes that technology is bringing to the legal profession, assessing the needs of the community, and assessing the resources that Kent has available were just starting points, a place from which to take the idea. To turn ideas into something more, it requires hard work, and taking the project to the next step meant discovering hands-on just how things would work. Many hours would be invested over the months with our students and faculty, using software programs and equipment, determining how to implement and what would be successful. It meant attending classes alongside students, gathering information on what technology labs were to be available, finding resources online, interviewing attorneys and even students to get their input, attending web conference seminars and internet training, and incorporating these pieces together with what I had. It all began to take shape. I came back to bringing worlds together, consulting with the program coordinators for the paralegal programs. Working from the Trumbull campus, the idea was to open the door to the sister programs on the project. Trumbull, Tuscarawas, Ashtabula, and East Liverpool were all intended to be brought together by the program, in some ways acting as a catalyst for cooperation. The coordinators met together for the first time via video conference to discuss the implications of the project for their respective programs. More classes were attended with the students, and visits to the regional and main campuses were made to work with the equipment and to further test software. Time and effort began to shape the project, and as the legal technology project moved forward, it had its share of ups and downs. But what made the project most enjoyable was being able to have the freedom to work on and develop the concept, and to work with others, to have that synergy, positive interaction, and support. Work with the New Media Center to develop a video journal of the project resulted in exploration of the uses of digital video as part of the class, and for low-cost marketing ideas that would have impact. Many of Kent's resources were made available to me for the project. At the main campus, concepts were developed with distance learning, covering iLink, WebCT Vista, VTEL, and Polycom systems. And faculty conferences were attended to incorporate methods of teaching to better reach our students. Review of texts and materials for the class was yet another piece of the project, with 38 textbooks and supplemental materials looked at for their effectiveness in the course. Of the factors considered, the factor of functionality with a hands-on approach and the factor of cost to the student weighed most heavily. In the end, 4 texts were selected. Adobe Acrobat 7.0 Quick Steps, Using Computers in the Law Office, Basic PowerPoint Exhibits, and the Microsoft Word Legal User's Guide. At the direction of the Justice Studies Curriculum Committee, additional scholarly works supplemented the core vocational texts to add another aspect to the course. All materials were researched for timeliness due to the nature of the subject matter, and all materials were again reviewed to be properly placed in the course syllabus. In addition, the software that they complemented was installed and tests were run to see how they would perform. How to simulate as best as possible the workings of a law office environment in a classroom, and to make adjustments. Software vendors were contacted to obtain licensing for the classrooms and to obtain the latest versions of their products. In the classroom, the technology labs, all the pieces were brought together, and time was spent fine-tuning and adapting so that the students would be focused on the learning experience. The core of the class itself was made ready, and now it was only a matter of bringing in students. Another aspect of the program that was developed was marketing. Working with continuing studies and workforce development, a series of advertisements were produced for print, and other ideas were put together to get word to the legal community. Flyers, postings, and emails were also developed to reach the traditional students at Kent, with the assistance of the Director of Enrollment at Trumbull. And there was development on video intended for additional marketing via DVD and the web, as some of the original green screen tests show.
The application and impact of this course is more than just for our paralegal program at the Trumbull campus. By using distance learning, it includes the Legal Professional Technology program at the Ashtabula campus and the Legal Assisting Technology program at the East Liverpool campus. Networking is one of the strengths of Kent State University.
And the course continues to develop. Earlier this summer, another facet to the class was being developed for podcasts to extend the program's reach and to add another dimension to the project.
Welcome to Augmenting Teaching with Podcasts. I'm Dr. Marty Gensius of Kent State University. It's July 7th, 2006. And at this workshop today that we're doing on podcasting, we've got a couple of participants who are going to talk a little bit about their use of technology in teaching and their potential interest in using podcasting.
Hello, my name is Savim McCutcheon, and I'm a catalog librarian here at the main library at Kent State's main campus. How about you, John?
I'm John Politi, and I am adjunct faculty over at the Trumbull campus. I'm in Justice Studies, and actually I work with the paralegals, and I've been interested in doing podcasts for a while now. And when I heard about this, I jumped on the opportunity.
What is your opinion of the online or the distance learning? What has worked out especially well, or what has worked out especially poorly for you and your students?
My first opportunity to do distance learning is going to be this upcoming fall, and I'm still trying to acquaint myself. The people who I've been talking with, Jim Raber, Bobby Bain, who's in charge of the equipment over at the Trumbull campus, have been very helpful. And I have a number of different choices available to me. I'm still learning this, and I'm spending some time this summer trying to get up to speed with some of the enhancements that they've done to the system. To me, it's very exciting. I love dealing with technology, and it's kind of like the kid in the candy store. You've seen the Circuit City commercials. You'll see the guy walk in, and just suddenly it's Christmas time. I enjoy that. At the same time, I also see it as drinking from the fire hose. There's a lot coming in. There's a lot of technology. And
John, that seemed like a very good analogy, drinking from the fire hose when it comes to new technology. Yes, with such a plethora of new technology coming out, it is truly a challenge to keep up with what's the most relevant in one's field and what's most applicable to education.
I'm actually going to be teaching this coming fall a class specifically based on technology for our paralegal students and how they can use technology in the courts and how they can use technology in the law office. So I'm also going to be teaching some distance learning courses, and I'd like to try and integrate the podcasting into that as well, in addition to using the VTEL and the Polycom systems.
John, can you tell us specifically what kind of technologies you will be introducing to your students?
Sure. And it's going to be, some is going to be computers and the software, but some is going to go a little bit beyond that too, in that
As for plans for the future, the direction that the course takes will depend upon the changes in the legal field and with technology. Regardless of where that path may lead, it was here with the UTC, with Kent State, its faculty, students and staff, and the legal community that it began with a good idea.